Your Holiness,
Most Holy Father,
Your Holiness,
Most Holy Father,
Bishop of Rome and Vicar of Jesus Christ,
I welcome you in the name of the people of God.
we welcome you with great joy and gratitude.
It is a great pleasure and an honor to welcome you back.
It is with great joy that we welcome you today.
we heartily welcome you.
On behalf of all Americans, Your Holiness, welcome back.
John Paul II was born in the Polish town of Ładowice in 1920. He was the youngest of 3 children, born to a Polish father and a Lithuanian mother. By the age of 20, he had lost his entire family. Nevertheless, he was still a very energetic and athletic man. He studied philosophy, and his talent for language blossomed. He was a polyglot, learning 12 languages. 9 of these he used extensively as Pope. He was required to participate in compulsory military training, but refused to fire a weapon. In 1946, he became a priest, and after 12 years became the youngest bishop in Poland. In 1967, he was chosen by Pope Pius VI to be a cardinal. Then, in 1978, he was elected to the papacy at the age of 58. When he traveled to the Vatican, he not only carried the altruistic and socialized values that are concerned about the good of the Catholic society and the entire world, but also acted and behaved congruent with those values. This made him an authentic transformational leader. Pope John Paul II lived up to his ethical values and conveyed them to his followers in many different ways. As Pope, he valued peace, harmony, openness, and honesty. He used his position of authority to motivate and influence not only Catholic followers, but also other top religious figures. As Pope, John Paul II repeatedly tried to bridge the gap between the world's foremost religions. He was the first Pope to visit the Eastern Orthodox Church since the Great Schism. He also was the Pope who traveled the most in history. He traveled to 117 countries around the world, meeting foreign dignitaries and speaking with the masses.
It was just after 5 o'clock in Italy. John Paul was doing what we've come to call his special thing, riding through St. Peter's Square in Vatican City, reaching out to touch the children held aloft for his blessing. Suddenly, shots from the crowd. According to eyewitnesses, the Pope froze in shock for a second and then slumped to the seat of his jeep. Our correspondent in Rome is Bill Blakemore.
He was seriously injured from the assassination attempt. After recovery, he had a private conversation with the man who shot him. Pope John Paul II later said, "I spoke to him as a brother whom I have pardoned and who has my complete trust." As a further example of morality, John Paul II spoke to masses and apologized for past wrongdoings of the Church, including atrocities committed during the Crusades and the Great Schism. He also clarified his ethical values by giving speeches. Even when he got old and weak, he never stopped this practice.
Love is the only basis for human relationships that respect in one another the dignity of the children of God, created in His image and saved by the death and resurrection of Jesus.
He supported behaviors that were congruent with the Church's values. His visiting Mother Teresa is an example of his action to promote ethical behaviors and to clarify the values of Catholic community, altruism and service.